Now, we got a thing called Therma-Guard. You can paint your walls of your building and they're fireproof. Yeah, fireproof. Won't burn down. If you're in California or someplace where you get brush fires, you need this paint. Whatever you paint with it, that's it. Fire isn't going to burn it. So we can fireproof it, or we have another product. So we have two products. One is for fireproofing. The other one is just for insulating or painting a wall. If you paint the inside of your walls with this and your ceiling, 99% of all the heat on this side is going to stay here, or the heat on that side is going to stay there. So for air conditioning or heating, you don't need any insulation in the walls at all. No insulation at all, and you will have better insulation than you could get with any insulation you could buy, and you painted the wall. You can get it in designer colors. It is a paint. Now I'm going to demonstrate this for you. Right here I have a piece of tin. It's a regular old piece of metal, very thin, and I've painted between the top part and the bottom part. So the paint is right here. It's painted all the way around. I'm going to hold it on the bottom with my fingers, and I'm going to let my associate here go ahead and apply heat this way to it so that we can show you that it gets nice and cherry red. I'm holding the bottom of this piece of metal, little thin piece of metal. I'm holding the bottom. See how cherry red that gets? Doesn't burn my fingers at all. Will not transfer the heat. Now we have a paint, and our heat paint is a thermal heat paint, resists the transfer of heat. Now we have an example of it right here. It comes in white, but you can take it down to Home Depot, or you can take it down to Sherman-Williams or anywhere, and you can make it any color that you want. So you can color this paint, make it pink, chartreuse, whatever color you want. But this egg has been dipped in this paint 2 times. So you have to put 2 coats on your wall, on your ceiling. When you put this paint on your wall or your ceiling, you will not have to put insulation where this paint is, because this paint will stop the transfer of heat through the wall, or dramatically reduce the transfer of heat through that wall, I should say, like insulation. So it's like an insulating paint. Paint a wall, paint a ceiling, and automatically insulate it at the same time. Now I want to show you what the insulative value of this is, because it will not allow heat to transfer, and I'm going to use this egg to do it. This egg has been dipped in the paint once and then dried, and then dipped in the paint again and dried. So we got 2 coats of paint on this egg. Now, if we were in NASA and we were out there in space, and we came back in on re-entry into our atmosphere, the bottom of that shuttle would be 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, just like this flame right here. Now, that's a hot flame. That's 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be on the undersurface of that shuttle. And it would be there for a 3-minute period of time as your shuttle returned back to the Earth. Well, we're going to take this egg as if it was a space shuttle and it's coming back to Earth, and we're going to have the bottom surface of it, one surface of it be 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to see if it can resist the transfer of heat. Now, I'm going to hand this off to my associate Rick, and he's going to put it inside, take a burner and put a burner, 2,000 degree torch, on that egg for a 3-minute period of time. We'll time a 3-minute period. I'll sit here and talk to you while the 3 minutes is going on. Now, he's just glancing it off of the egg. Now, we're not saying that this egg is fireproof, because it is not fireproof. If you paint your wall, it will not be fireproof. It will still burn. But it won't allow the heat to transfer from through that paint. So it's going to stop, not completely, but it's going to dramatically slow down the transfer of heat. So as we're going for this 3-minute period of time, we'll time this. Then at the end of this, we're going to see exactly what kind of a job that it did. Now, there's 2 surfaces, and you have to paint both coats. The first coat that comes is silver. So how will you know that you've covered everything and you got it all fully done? The first coat that you'll paint on your ceiling or on your wall will be completely silver in color. That's because the base coat has also got a radiant barrier in it, the silver reflective barrier that will take the sun's rays and bounce them back. Because you want to keep the heat in the summertime out of the building, and then you want to keep the heat in the wintertime that you paid for inside your building inside the building. So this way you can keep the heat in and keep the sun's rays out. So the radiant barrier is going to get rid of any radiant heat that comes. In addition to that, we also do still have all of the treatment on the paint itself. Then we do a second coat. Now you'll know you've got the first coat out of the way and the second coat on. You'll know that because when all the silver is gone, you got the second coat on. If you wanted chartreuse or pink or whatever color. You don't need to paint the color of the base coat, just color the cover coat, the outside coat. Now when you spray the ceiling with this, you can put insulation in it if you want to, or in the walls also you get additional value. But people have asked us, what is the R value of this product? Well, R value relates to thickness, and this is just a coat of paint. There's no thickness here. So we really can't give you an R value, but I can tell you that if you had normally 3 inches of fiberglass in your wall, and then you come along and paint this wall with this without the 3 inches of fiberglass, you'll get the same basic insulative value that you had with the fiberglass in the wall, without the fiberglass in the wall. So if you paint the wall and you fiberglass, you've got a dramatically more well-insulated wall than if you just put fiberglass in the wall. Same thing goes for your ceiling. And so for your attic or any surface, some people have these high vaulted ceilings, and where do you put the insulation? So the nice thing about this is that you can put, you can paint the wall, and then even if you couldn't put any additional insulation in the ceiling, you got it. Now, our egg has just come back from deep space. So we've got an egg that's just come back from 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, what, by the way, is on the undersurface of the shuttle? And you'd say ceramic tiles. And I would say, oh, well, what do you think is inside this paint? Now, the interesting thing is, I just picked this egg up. It's 2,000 degrees on the other side, and you notice I'm still holding it with my fingers on the other side of it. I'm going to take this little plate, put the egg in it, and cut the shell of the egg. So I've just cut the shell of the egg, and I'm going to close up here with the camera and let you see that the egg is not even cooked. Not even cooked. As a matter of fact, it's very cold. Not even warm. So there you go. That's what we call the egg test. If you find another product that claims to be an insulating paint, do the egg test and see how well it does. And if it'll do this, then you've got our product, Therma-Guard.